So recently, a lot of you wanted me to give you the backend of my recent projects, the HANA website that I did. Here, let me show you. This is the website. So we have done several videos about it, but since I did the case study on the front end, how we did things, the whole design process and everything, a lot of you wanted me to show you actually how this looked like on the backend. So this video is all about that. Stay tuned. Hi, my name is Mr. Gecko and I'm here to help you create better websites. So this channel is all about WordPress, Gutenberg and the whole design process. If you're into that, consider subscribing. So this is the website in question. This is one of my local clients. They have a portfolio website. They're in the construction industry and they're making facades out of glass, aluminum and all those type of things. So quite a lot of you liked what I did on the front end and the whole design process that I did the case study, one of my previous videos. I've linked it up there in the cards so you can check it out and in the description below. So a lot of you like that, and if you're watching this one, you should watch first that one and then come back here to see the backend. A lot of you wanted me to show the backend, so here we are. So the first thing I want to show is Kadence theme, the theme that I'm using. So Kadence theme, it's a free theme. It has a premium version. Of course, I'm using the premium version. I'm leveraging all the pro version options. So this theme is crazy fast. It's made for Gutenberg and Elementor. But if you're into block editor, please use block editor, please use Gutenberg. It's amazing. You can do a lot of things with it. It's just, I know the switching is hard, but it's inevitable. The future is almost here. Gutenberg is the future, and Kadence theme is one of the fastest growing things out there. So if you're not using it, you're missing out a lot. But you don't have to use Kadence. You can use any other theme. I'm just saying Kadence, it has the new cloud coming up. Like if you're a designer, if you're a web designer, and if you're not using Kadence, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. So I'm using a child theme as well. Child theme. Why am I using child theme? Well, with Gutenberg, since not all of the things are, polished like in some page builders, you gotta know your code a little bit. Like maybe you're going to input a few functions here and there, stuff like that. You don't have to, of course, but I know around with code a little bit. So child theme is the way to go. You install child theme, and basically what it does, it gives you ability to add some filters and functions on top of WordPress, and they will hijack and replace some of the things that are by default in your theme. So this is what I'm using. So when we go to the customize, since this is a Gutenberg theme, we go to the theme customizer, and basically here I have defined everything. So I have the basic layout. I have defined all the colors, the buttons. So this is my color palette. By the way, Kadence has this global color palette. Once you set these colors here, you can just pick them up all around with in the block editor, and whatever you pick from these global colors, it will stay. You just need to realize that these are, for example, accent colors, that these are strongest texts, medium texts, subtle texts, and then these subtle backgrounds and lighter backgrounds and whiter or off-white. So you need to know your palette and what each color does and where it's applied, so you don't mix it up way too much. Things still, even if you're using global palette, if you're just randomly putting colors, you need to learn more about colors. I'll make one video about that, or maybe a few videos about it. So here I've set some things up like title above content background. So if you go to, for example, news, you will be able to see here that, for example, this background here, this is what I'm using. So this is, stuff that's available all around. So if I'm not using a specific background, like for projects here, So here for projects, I'm using a custom background that's applied only for this page. But if it's something like news or opening a specific news or something like that, I don't have a background for each news. So for example, this one, it will always have this background. This background is set in the beginning. Oh, I'm using a different layout here, so no background color there. So this is a global thing that we're setting. So some button settings that I'm using. So everything here, typography, you set it up here, base font, then heading, then H1, H2, H3, and so on and so on. Title above content, and you can set things up here. Then what I'm doing is I'm using the performance tab actually. So Kadence has performance tab. You can preload CSS, you can preload local fonts. You can load Google Fonts locally, so you have a better performance. Yep, these things exist. So then we have header, and for the header, I have tweaked just, I was using print shop theme from starter templates of Kadence, and actually it doesn't look the same at all. But some things about the header, I've actually adopted from that theme, tweaked it a little bit. So here we have search, we have these things, primary navigation, then we have a logo, then we have for tablet and mobile, trigger, hamburger menu, and so on, then off canvas menu. So you can edit these things here. Everything is editable. Kadence theme as a free theme has the most options for free, the most options out of all themes, and where they're heading, I'm just digging it, I'm in love with this theme, and I've used page builders before. So for the footer, we have a lot of things for the footer. Let's go back to normal. So for the footer, I'm using these widgets and basic stuff. So then we have the page layout. So for the page layout, for example, let's go to the contact. Now, let me actually switch to the English mode so you people can understand, This is my local language, Bosnian language. So here, for any page actually, for example, this one, what I did here, as you can see, I have page title layout above content. So here the title is here, and we have a background. So container width, page title aligns, some of the things. See, I'm hiding all these. I can show them, breadcrumb, metadata. So whatever, I'm using full width, and then I'm limiting page, the content within the page. So unboxed, stuff like that. So a lot of things. A lot of options here. And then we have blog posts. So for the blog posts, what I did is here I went to the single post layout, and all the things here you see are actually done with the whole layout. Actually here, we can go here. I don't like that narrow view. I don't actually look at things in the customizer there. I open another tab here and look at things here. So what's amazing with this type of layout is if I have a portrait style image, portrait mode image, it will display like this. If I have a wide screen image, 16 by 9 or something like that, I have it there. So it's flexible. So here I'm using the gallery as well, putting some images. So yeah, pretty much that's it. Now, all of that is styled here in the customizer. So as you can see, even featured image, I can inherit the image. So whatever this image is, it will stay like that. If I say 1:1 ratio, 4:3 ratio, so you can actually tweak it as you want, So a lot of options here. Kadence actually introduced some new options after I did this website, so I may have been using some things in an old-fashioned way because things didn't exist back then. But yeah, let's go back to news. This is an archive. So an archive is displayed like this. So these cards, like each of these cards, these are designed. The layout here is again done with the archive layout. So all these options are actually already here, and I've designed it there. So there's some stuff like simple things that I might have been doing with CSS, of course. Something that's not available in the customizer, I just fixed it with CSS. But this is not like some major CSS. It's like you go to the Google how to do that with CSS. The first thing that pops out, W3 schools or something like that. Just copy that code, paste it in your additional CSS here, and you're good to go. You know, you just need to target things properly, and that's it. Then I have the custom post type layout. So here we have projects. So for the projects, this is an archive. And this archive actually looks a little different from my news archive, so the blog posts. So as you can see, the blog posts are very tall. They have taller images, and they have excerpt the text and read more and all of that. But here you just have titles. You just have the buildings, the projects, and you click on either one of them, image or the title, and that's it. So this thing I designed differently here with the projects archive. So projects is my custom post type. So here it has a separate tab for the projects. Actually, we users of Kadence, we are suggesting to the Kadence team that one of the next things they should do, I don't know actually did they already do that or not, but we are requiring that if you have multiple custom post types, that each of them gets its own section here so that you can tweak each one of them separately. It's a logical thing. They will add that. It's just a matter of time. So here, clicking the projects, we have projects archive, and all of these are done with this. Then we have each one of these projects. When you open them, then I have projects layout. So this projects layout is actually how I did this one. But this layout, in fact, this here in the customizer is just the layout. However, this is one of the most important things. When we go to one of these projects, so you'll see, for example, this one. It has a featured image. It's looking like news at first, but the way this is done is this is designed for being very fast, being efficient, being, let's go to one more. For example, this one. And we're going to open this one, and we're going to open maybe this one as well. So each one of these has, for example, this one has a little text, little images, and a little video here. This one has only images without texts, but each one of them has project details, as you can see. Each one of them has project details. So I'm like, I sat down with my client. This is what you do. You sit down with your client, you see what their needs are, see their needs, and then decide. Like I asked them, like, will you have videos? Will you have photos? Like each building, of course, because they're very visual here, it needs to have image. So image is the core. Every time, every project will have gallery. So I'm starting from the gallery, and then I'm adding on top of it. Like if I have text, so if I have text, I'm gonna add text above the gallery. So this is a basic, it's not like some crazy design. This is what they wanted me to do, very simple, very basic, so that people can see the details here. So apparently their clients, whatever they're looking, this is not someone, an average Joe that lives in the city is looking at. This is the companies that work with them, that they're looking for projects. So they know what they're looking for here. Anyways, so these things that I did are with templates. but what kind of templates? Since I'm using Gutenberg, I don't have templates like in a page builder. So let me dive into that, how we did that. So Kadence has these things like elements, hooked elements. This is something that I've talked about when we were talking about dynamic fields. I'll link it up in the card above and in the description below, so you can see exactly how I did advanced custom fields and put them inside here with these elements, and then hooked elements into every single post layout for my project custom post type. So yeah, this is for example here, project details. We will open the English one. So what we have here is an element which is dynamic. So all these are advanced custom fields, shortcodes, and a custom plugin that my custom shortcode for taxonomy. So all of that, I have videos in the description above in the card, so you can check it out. So each of these is set to place before entry content and display settings on single projects, on all of them. So very easy. You design it, you place it there, and I have translations here, WPML. So each language has its own elements, so I can actually translate each one of these and fetch whatever I want. So it's easy. Now, going to the projects. So we go to the projects and let's open one of them. Actually, let me go from here. Let me go open this one, edit project. So this is how backend looks like. It's just gallery and the title. So whatever is on the front end is added with also these hooked elements, the project details. So we have title, featured image, project details, and then gallery, or if it's video and text as well. So let me actually show you this. This is, for example, every one of these galleries. I define defaults for gallery type. You can define defaults somewhere here. Yeah, block defaults. So you go to advanced gallery and then define some defaults. So I've defined the defaults for my clients so they don't have to. I've did it for them. So when they go to the projects and add new projects, so I clicked on add new here, and here we are. So they add title and whatever they want. So you can either hit a slash here and start actually with some block if you type in the name, or hit the plus icon here. So you see the row layout. Row layout is the basic building block, something that you will wrap everything in inside that when you do stuff with Kadence. So this is the row layout. Inside row layout we have columns, and inside columns we put content. So what I did is I've designed things like the gallery and all of that, and I've wrapped it inside the row layout. And that row layout I picked as a reusable block and saved it. So I've picked up several types of layouts and saved all of them. So when my clients goes to, I name them like Hano, like the website. So I have six of these, and you can type it in as well here. You just type in Hano and you have 6 of them here. So what they are is project. So this is the basic one, Hano project gallery. So we said that gallery is the most important for them. Gallery will always be in every project, so we go from gallery. Then we have gallery, text plus gallery. So if text is above the gallery, so we have that. So when I click that, as you can see here, I have predefined text. So they go convert to regular blocks, and then they edit here the text, and they input the gallery, and that's it. So they could also do this manually, but I don't want them to do this. Like, look at this padding here. Like this is a, what is this? This is separator or something like that. So I have added that. Then I have this one that has column, and that column has also its own things like 90 from top, So 90 here, 120 down. So I want these things to be very distinctive. I don't want to have one project having zero margin on the bottom, other one 120 or something like that. I'm all about details. So each one of these is highly detail oriented. I don't want them to touch anything but text and add gallery. So I don't like this one. Let's delete this one. So let's type in another one. Hano. So we have text plus gallery plus one video, then text plus gallery plus two videos, then have gallery plus one video without text, and gallery plus two videos without text. So these 6 templates are there. So for example, gallery plus 2 videos, we open that. So we have we go convert to regular blocks. So we have gallery, and then we have 2 YouTube URLs. So yeah, this is how you do these things. And as you can see, all of these, for example, this one has that text, it has gallery, and it has video. So for this one, for example, if we wanted to go for that one, we would just go and hit Hano. So I need text plus gallery plus 1 video. Where is that? Text plus gallery plus 1 video. Here it is. So easy as that. They added text, they added gallery, and they add YouTube video. And I didn't want to make it like the whole width, the full width, so that it's reasonable to watch, you know, like that. So, but I haven't used YouTube video. This is like, I don't know, 2-3 megabytes short video. So I'm hosting it on the website, just using regular video player. Yeah, I would use Presto Player, of course, but this project was done before, so yeah. Anyways, that's how I did the projects. The pages, they're the same thing, essentially. You go to the pages, they have, for example, maybe the home page will be interesting for you to show. So let me show you the front page, the home page layout. So what you see in actually this by the way, these are the reusable blocks, all of them here. So if we go to the front page, what we actually have is we have the slider, then we have this small layout like left text, then right we have an image that will extend the video. So then we have news, latest news section, then we have features, and then we have featured projects, and then a call to action and the footer. So what I did here is first I added a slider, but this is a mess. This is what I suggested to the founder of Kadence, and he said in the recent town hall video they did, he said that he's going to work on this, that this is that I'm actually right about it, and that it needs a little more intuitive system for managing these. Like I asked, could these sliders be collapsed? Like look at these, like I have 5 of them and they're just like this. But this is what we're dealing with currently. So I'm all about getting the results. Like if I was using what's it called? Revolution slider. That thing alone is like 0.5 megabyte or something to load its scripts, not even loading the images. And it's all about absolute values, so really, it's a hassle. Like if you want to align something to something, if you want to align things between devices, like it's a hassle. Here, I put text in the middle, and it's gonna be in the middle, you know. That's it, on every device. So, this slider is much more lightweight, and I like it, even though the backend is a whole mess. So when you click on each one of these, so you can edit each slide. So I have texts like advanced heading here, and yeah, basically I'm adding the background image, and that's it. So the problem with this one is I have one slider, as you can see, 5 images. So this is for the desktop. And if we go here, we don't have actually visibility settings. So we need to go up here to the row layout of this. as you can see, this is wrapped in a row layout, and this row layout is ending there. And for this row layout, I have set visibility settings just to show it on desktop and hide it on tablet and mobile. Why am I doing that? So for example, if we look at this mobile version, look at that. Let's show it on the... Sorry, let me dock this on the sidebar. So here, as you can see, these images are positioned quite differently, and they're like matching here. If I used this image, if we just crop, and this whole object, this whole building wouldn't be seen. So I've added another set of images that I've cut just for mobile, and they're showing up. They're small in size, so I'm leveraging better display on mobile, better page speed on mobile, because I'm loading smaller size images instead of these big images that are meant for the desktop. So and I'm aligning these objects, these buildings, to be aligned in the middle and all of that. So yeah, basically I need another slider for that. And I have smaller text here. Some things are, as you can see, in 3 rows and stuff like that. So yeah, this slider needed a different height than it is for the desktop, and I specifically wanted all of these not to be full screen. As you can see, it's not full screen. I wanted it that way. We need to reload this. So I have another slider which again has its own row layout, which is here, and the visibility for this one is just for tablet, not even mobile. So if we go F12, so we can set, let's say, iPad Pro. So this is iPad Pro. This is how it looks like on iPad Pro. So I wanted it this way. So I have for each one of these different setup. As you can see in the backend here, this is where Gutenberg does not shine at all. So this this is like displaying these small images in big size, so they become blurry, but it's meant for the tablet. And then we have this one, the third one, which is for the mobile. So as you can see, I have 3 different sliders which all have 5 slides. So this is a mess in the backend, but as long as you know what you're doing, you're fine. I'm done with this. I'm not looking much in the backend anymore here. So same thing here. I'm using something here which is column and column here, and then putting video with a overlay, whatever. So this row layout visibility is just desktop, hiding tablet and mobile. And then I have another one which is for tablet, and another one which is for mobile. This is, this is for when, for example, here it's looking like this on a mobile phone. It's looking like that. So I'm having actually less text on mobile, less text. We decided it's best that way. And then on the desktop, we have the full text with everything next to each other. So it's not perfect. It's not perfect, this section, but it works well. Then we have here. Then we have latest news. This is just post-grid layout, and I actually styled this one here. And for the archives, for the projects, I styled in the backend. So you can style them. I styled this one with this block to look same like with the archives here. So my archives, when you go to the news, they look the same like when you go to the home page. So yeah, you just gotta go and grind a little bit to get it to look the same with this block. It has tons of options there. They actually have a post grid, I think, just post grid or post, I don't know how it's called. It's the basic block of this one without lots of options that this one has. So yeah. Then I have latest news that is just for the tablet, 2 of them, and so on and so on. Then production and services. So I'm actually having different layouts here for example, if we load this, this is how it looks here, and when we go to the mobile, everything is below each other, and when you're on iPad, it is in the 2-row layout. So yeah, basically in the backend, you just have to do these, for example, featured images, like just 3 of them and then 6 of them. So for mobile, for example, for the tablet, you see 6 of them here. If we go to the mobile display, you will just see 3 of them. So yeah. And then if you want to look more, you click on view all projects and that's it. But these are the tiny details that I'm doing that you may not seen when just browsing randomly the website. So but yeah, on the backend here, what I actually did here, there's this trick. For example, this one goes beyond, down below on the footer. And what I'm doing here is actually I'm offsetting the margin, like bottom minus 150. This is a trick that you do with margins. It accepts negative margins. So when you go negative, it will pull down, you know. So when it pulls down, what I did is actually just for the home page, I'm adding a little bit more footer here so that it doesn't bother me. So let me show you actually what I mean. If we go to some other page, look at this footer, for example. Now my internet is way too slow now. Here, this footer and this footer, look at their difference. So this part is added just for the front page, and I've added that with CSS, of course, or I don't remember how I did it. Maybe I did it with something else. But in any case, these custom things that you want, you can easily just do it with CSS. It's just few lines of code. And CSS is not, by the way, coding. You know, I've seen people telling me like, oh, but yeah, you know CSS. It's not about knowing CSS. If you're a web designer, you gotta know a little bit of CSS. Just like go watch 2-3 YouTube videos about it, and that's it. Like you don't need to be proficient in it. You just need to know ins and outs, what's a class, how to add a class, and things like that. So yeah. Anyways, that's about the home page. So you know everything now about the pages. For the contact page, I used Kadence form, and I've connected it with let me actually show you that. I've connected it with the FluentCRM. So let's basically dive into the plugins, what we have. Here, I'm using File Manager. This is not advised if you have access to the backend. For this website, I don't have access to the backend, so I'm switching back and forth. I'm disabling this plugin when I'm not using it. Beehive for Google Analytics. This is just Google Analytics. Then FluentCRM. This is something you should use if you're capturing leads, like MailChimp. X that. Just use this. This is like, of course, if you can use. All these have free versions. If you can use free versions, that's fine. If you need more advanced setup, you use advanced setup. So yeah, there's that. So for the contact page, well, this sometimes happens. So here, basically, I'm using form from Kadence, and it works wonders. Like I like Fluent Forms, but this is, and I'm using Contact Form 7 as well. It has wide range of features for free, if you know what I mean, but it's a hassle sometimes, you know. So yeah. Then we have FluentCRM settings. So I'm mapping here email and first name and whatnot. So I'm adding to the lists and adding to the tags. And here in the FluentCRM tab, I'm actually gathering the contacts. So as you can see, this website is new. It's basically having no ranking, nothing, and it's not meant to be for larger audiences. So yeah, so far I've done this just recently. So 7 contacts. The other one that they have like 7, 8, from 5 to 10 contacts per day collected in MailChimp. So I'm gonna redo that website and convert it to FluentCRM, and yeah, because we're beyond the free plan on MailChimp, and it's a hassle now. FluentCRM, the way to go. Statistics, this is just for, this is Beehive, so I've talked about this also. If I can add more videos to the cards, if not, in the description below. But this is giving you the most analytics for free inside your backend here. So for example, I've seen many people telling me like, Well, Gecko, just use, add to the header, to the footer, whatever. Just add scripts from Google Tag Manager, whatever, and then just use it. No bloat, nothing else. But look, this is my client. They know zero things about Google Analytics. They want to see here, like page views, sessions, like see this nice, beautiful graph, see from which countries they get views and stuff like that, their top pages, searches, whatever. This is it. This is it. And they can compare to the last period and stuff like that. So there's that. Then I'm using advanced custom fields. I'm not going to go into this. We're going to stay for a long period of time then. But basically, I have project properties, and I've added a lot of custom fields mixed with taxonomies that they have. So you see, some of them are some taxonomies. Link in the description, ACF, or in the cards about how I did this together with the Kadence hooked elements. Then I'm using custom post type UI for creating custom post types and custom taxonomies. As you can see here, projects, they have categories, types of work systems, class types, and locations. All of these are added with the custom post type UI. So you add them here and you're good to go. Search and filter. This is another plugin that I've talked about. So for this one, basically what you see here for the projects, this search and filter, it's a powerful mechanism. Also in the card and in the link in the description, I've did a dedicated video about it, so you should watch it. I'm not going to go into it in this video. So search and filter, great plugin, very cheap or free if you can use free version, of course. Opt-in downloads. This is a plugin that's giving me trouble, but somehow it also works well. Like, for example, let me show you what I mean. If I can find where it is. So, well, basically we're not using this anything for this one. Maybe in the certificates, something like that. Well, it's not in the certificates. Anyways, so basically this is the plugin where if I click the document, it would make a pop-up and ask me to subscribe first if I wanted to download that. So I'm doing that in the other website of theirs, so I just kept this here in case they need it, so everything is set up. Then we have WP Vivid plugin for the backup. You can use, I've used Duplicator. A lot of people use WP all-in-one migration. A lot of people use Updraft. I'm using WP Vivid because it has staging. It has it can back up your plugins. It can do incremental backups. So I'm setting up here backup schedules. So I'm doing like multiple locations, multiple Google Drives, and I'm sending backups there. I'm backing up locally. I'm doing lots of things with it. So, well, if you want me to show that, I can make a video about it, but it's not for this time. Then Login Press. This is basically the login. I normally don't do this, but it looks nice, you know, their backend styled a little bit and stuff like that. So yeah, compliance. If I said it correctly, this is the GDPR consent. So they have a beautiful wizard. You can go through a lot of things. Like, this is just amazing plugin. Like, it's not just adding a cookie banner. It's like stopping scripts and all of that. Like, it gives you proof of consent. You know, like all these things. You know, you can have proof of consent. Like, when was the last time you updated your plugins and everything and cookies? So you set that proof of consent and you're good to go. So I'm not super into GDPR law, but this plugin works much better than those generic just let me give you a cookie bar plugin. So keep that in mind. If they're not stopping the scripts, then you're actually not, they're not stopping all the scripts, of course. The necessary plugins are there, but they're stopping maybe Google Analytics and stuff like that. That's not needed for someone to actually necessary cookies are those that build up your website. So if they're gonna break your website, if you don't use them, they're gonna break some things. So some cookies you need, but not all of them. So this plugin manages all of that. And I do that, it has a pro version, I do the free version. WPML, this is the plugin I always recommend for building advanced translations. So when I say advanced, look at this. I'm doing all of these with WPML. A lot of people have been suggesting even some, I don't remember the name of the plugin. I'll review a lot of these. Like there's this plugin that translates everything on the front end or translates everything automatically for you. Like WPML, of course, can do all of that, but not like what you see is what you translate like on the front end. But there's a reason for that. So when you translate everything on the front end, how will you translate taxonomies and all of that in the back end? So this plugin deals with the database. Like it translates all the script, like it translates all the how it's called, string translation. So it translates all the strings that I need. So whenever there's something on the website, little thing somewhere, I can translate it dynamically. If it's gonna change per languages and stuff like that, I'm gonna translate it like that. So it's really powerful. For example, if you go to the news, then you see February 15, 21. So this is how you write it in English. So let's convert to Bosnian language and you'll see the difference in the format here. So here, this is how we say in Bosnian language. We add a dot behind the date and then with the small letters the month, and then after year we have a dot as well. So I'm all about details, as I said. I'm doing all of this. Everything is translated, like every tiny little detail is translated. Every dynamic field, whatever, everything is translated. You cannot do that with some other plugins that just do the front end. How will you search? For example, if you go and search here, like I don't want the search to search me other language or things like that. Here is everything is separated within the database, so I'm not having any hassles. So if you need some advanced translations to multiple things and multiple languages and all of that, WPML, believe me, it's not my client is paying for it, I'm not paying for it. So I'm telling them, if you want high quality translation of everything, this is the plugin we're gonna get. All other plugins, I mean Polylang, I used it. It's very similar to WPML. Maybe it can do lots of things that this one can, but I couldn't do string translation back then, so I went with WPML. There's these MacLeod and TranslatePress and whatever. Maybe they can do the same, but just keep in mind, I'm not advocating, I'm not affiliate for WPML as of now, but this is what I know how to use well, and I've had some issues, and this plugin is just amazing. Like it's integrated with simply everything. You name a plugin, it's probably integrated with it. So, but it's ease of use. It needs a little, learning curve if you're not into string translations and all of that. But once you get a hang of it, it's really snap of a finger. Kadence blocks, this is what you've seen in the block editor. Mainly I'm using Kadence blocks. So yeah, what else? XML sitemap, post type orders, relevancy, Fluent SMTP I'm using for sending mail, resize image and upload. This is actually a cool plugin. So I'm resizing everything to 1200 pixels by width and height, and yeah, I'm not using any lower quality here for the compression level. So whenever my client uploads photos, like let's say they're 8 megabytes photos, that like 5000 times 6000 dimension, so all of those will be capped to 1200 pixels. This is what you should do. If you're dealing with a lot of images on your website, you should limit these things for your clients to actually not be able to upload some HD quality footage or photos that would slow down the website significantly. Of course, you can always tell them they can disable this if they need to do something, but generally this is where it's at. Then for this one, I'm using actually also one of the amazing things. For example, if we go to any image, for example, let's view this image. You see this is actually having their watermark engraved, but this is not something that I'm doing from Photoshop or somewhere. This is actually done within the software here. So what I'm doing actually is in the tools, there's this easy watermark. So I don't like this, but this is the only plugin on the whole WordPress that works actually. I've used another one, it stopped working, so it was a hassle to move to this one. But actually, you set it up, and it has tools like it can bulk watermark or bulk restore. When you go to the media library, you can restore single images or bulk images or whatever you want. So yep, this is where it's at. And in media library, I'm using real media library for the folders and all of that, and enhanced media library for actually when you click on an image, it has normally a pop-up. I don't like that. I like all options to be on the right side, so I'm using the enhanced media library for that as well. A lot of plugins here, but this is just in the back end. It believe me, it does nothing to the front end. I'm inspecting all my plugins, seeing if they're adding new JavaScripts and whatever. I'm highly about that. So there's a tons of plugins here. Look at the plugin list. There's a tons of plugins, but when people tell you like, oh, maximum 10 plugins, maximum 5, I'm using as many as I need. If it's 100, then it's 100. You just need to make sure you're using plugins from credible sources, credible companies like WPML, credible company, Search and Filter Pro. It exists for years, A Real Media Library, it's one of the most popular ones, but you can use also Happy Files as well, Kadence, FluentCRM. All these things are, advanced custom fields. All these are famous plugins, but I use some of these to enhance my experience in the backend. So I have another thing. Like let me show you that actually. For my clients, I display not all of this. So of course they have administrator account, but they have some account for the others that will upload some of these projects and news. So for them, I use completely different system. Let me actually show you that. I cleaned it up. So my client wanted to have a specific account just for their own employees so that they can just go in, enter news, enter new project, and be done with it. That's why I kept those images at 1200 pixels. I can resize everything with Photoshop, of course, myself. But for my client, I want them to have ease of use, and I created a guide for them, 30 plus pages guide. So that guide is about every single detail, with arrows and stuff like that, like for newbies, and let me actually show you that. Let's go into it. Why is this not okay? So as you can see, that WordPress with like 40 plugins and whatnot in the backend now just disappeared. Everything is here: posts, projects, and media library. That's it. They can create new posts, new projects, and change the language to add also new languages. And here, this is what they have. Like this is welcome, and this is, they click on this and it's gonna download. As you can see here, I did quite a job here. Like, look at this. Just look at that. Like, this is just, pages and pages, pages and pages, pages and pages. Like, I've told them everything. Like, every single detail is here. So whatever they need, it's always there. I mean, I've sent this over email for them, but when you open the backend, you're always asking yourself, oh, where's that guidebook, that we have? Where is it at the time? But here on your dashboard, always ready to download again if in case you forgot some stuff. They can add new posts. So when they add new posts, let's see how they can add new posts. So as you can see, they don't have the welcome screen. I've hidden the welcome screen in the block editor. They don't have these extra things on the sides. So a lot of these things on the side are hidden. Even these things, like for example, these things, featured image, post categories, and all of that, that's normally hidden. So they don't know that they need to expand featured image. So I have some custom code that expands all of these automatically for them. And here, as you can see, they don't have that Kadence defaults and stuff like that. I've hidden those buttons as well from them. So they actually cannot do quite a lot of things. Like maybe this design library is something that this is a new thing. Maybe I should hide this as well. Because this is a new update, but yeah, this is where it's at. Like, it's very clean, very polished. So yeah. This is actually how the backend looks like. In case I missed something, if you want me to show that, you can put in the comments down below. Let me know. If you like this video, please hit that thumbs up. Consider subscribing, tell your friends and everybody. And yeah, if you're into WordPress, Gutenberg, and the whole design process, you're in the right place. We're doing a lot of these things in the future, so stay tuned and see you in the next one.